How to practice at home. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. How are you? Great. So listen, today I am going to give you lots of ideas about how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. Home Alone sounds like a film. Are you ready? Let's do it. So listen. Today we're going to be looking at how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. It's not so easy for many people, right? Because maybe you don't have any native English speakers in your city. Maybe there are no tourists that you can go and harass. Maybe there are no groups locally where you can go, chat, and speak English. And maybe you're not ready to go on Skype and try to find some random English person to chat with, somebody you don't know. I mean, that can be quite hard, especially if you're a little bit shy like me. So what I want to do today is share with you lots of ideas about how you can practice speaking when you're on your own at home alone, right? Good. Now, if you do know me, you may be thinking, what's that strange orange block over there? That wasn't there before. True. And this is my meditating mat. Sometimes where I sit and meditate, sometimes I don't sit on the wall. I'm just tidying at the moment, so I couldn't find a place to put it. So right now, it's over there. Okay, the truth about speaking is that, yes, you can watch videos, you can watch films, you can listen to podcasts. All of that is great. But at some point, you need to start speaking. You can speak on your own, but also later you'll need to start interacting and practicing speaking with people. But that's not always easy to do. So right now, today, I'm going to focus on some really practical, simple activities you can do when you're on your own at home to start practicing speaking. The first technique is called Speak into the Mirror, and this is really useful. But it's really, really simple, right? It's easy because you can do this first thing in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, or, well, you can't speak and brush your teeth, but just before you brush your teeth. And in the evening before going to bed, when you wash your face. What do you mean you don't wash your face in the evening? Why not? My mother always told me, make sure you wash your face, clean behind your ears, wash your neck, scrub your neck. Yeah, wash your face before you go to bed. It takes all the dust and pollution off your face, apparently. Anyway, that's a great time that you can do it. And this is good, because the key to learning and preparing for I is habit, right? If you can attach your learning to an existing habit, brushing your teeth or washing your face, then it makes it much easier. Now, I used to do this when I was learning Chinese. In the morning after brushing my teeth, I would just have a few sentences talking about what I'm going to do today in the future, right? Speaking Chinese. Today I'm going to go to the park. I need to go to the supermarket. I'm going to buy some vegetables. I'm meeting Jack at 6 o'clock. I might go to the cinema. All in the future. Brilliant. And then, at the end of the day, you can talk about what you did or what you have done. Today I went to the park. I played football. I went shopping. In the end, I've done a lot. It has been a good day. Right? Past tense, present perfect as well. So you can see, it's actually great to practice different tenses. It's a bit like writing your diary at the end of the day, right? Which is also a great way to practice writing. But this is speaking in front of the mirror. It's nice. It's reflective learning in many ways. Okay, moving on. The next one I call collocation fun, right? Collocations are words that are often used together, like, we talk about heavy rain. Heavy rain in English. We don't say big rain. Today there's big rain. Number, there is heavy rain. So these are collocations. Collocation fun is where we're going to practice speaking using a very common teaching method. Really based on the task-based approach to teaching. It's based on prepare, practice, present. So we'll be preparing the words, the collocations, practicing sentences, and then presenting a whole talk. Now, the reason I suggest doing this in front of the mirror is that actually there are great benefits to talking to a mirror. First of all, mirrors don't answer back like young children or wives. But apart from that, when you're speaking in the mirror, you can look at your mouth and see the kind of movements that you're making, which is great. It's useful for pronunciation. You can also check your body language. You may be surprised to see that you speak like that without ever moving your arms, or that you suddenly realize, I'm doing this all the time. That's fine. But being aware of your body language can be quite good. And also, you feel like you're talking to someone. Many people I know, and this happened to me, I practiced for a long time with a book. And when I went to speak to somebody in the foreign language, it was like a shock seeing this face in front of me. Oh my God, but practicing with the mirror, you get used to a face in front of you, right? So it does help. So let's look then. Prepare, practice, and present. Preparing. What I suggest you do here is take a topic, right? A recent topic we were studying in the live lessons was science. Then get some collocations. You can use your course book if you want. You can get onto the internet. Or you can go to my channel and watch other content, like How to Learn English, My Struggle to Learn English, and others, etc. In here, right, you've got free video lessons. You can go through the free video lessons, and there is a recent one on how to learn English. So you can just listen, right? Download the video. Yeah, we want to download that, and then find in there all the collocations. Look, you've got the notes here, and here you've got collocations, you've got idioms, you've got loads of stuff. And what I would do is take maybe 6 or 7 collocations or idioms, like exact science. It's not rocket science, or to be on the same wavelength. And that's the preparation, right? That's step 1. Step 2, in front of the mirror, just make a sentence with it, right? Exact science, well, parenting, bringing up children, is not an exact science. Cooking is not an exact science. Frying an egg, it's not rocket science. It's actually quite easy, right? Then I'm just practicing sentences here. And then in the end, after practice comes present. I take one of the old Part 2 questions around science, maybe something like, describe an area of science you're interested in, and then start to talk about it for maybe a minute, trying, if possible, to use some of these phrases and sentences, right? So you may say something like this. Describe an area of science you're interested in. Well, okay. I guess an area I'm interested in actually is cooking. And I know it's not an exact science, but I guess it's a branch of science, a branch of food science maybe, right? And I am interested in the science behind cooking. I think it's very interesting. I know with cooking, when you heat things up, they change. And when you mix different things, like sugar and vinegar, you get different levels of acidity, and chemical reactions happen. So I think it's really interesting, right? I think chefs and scientists are really on the same wavelength because they're trying to experiment, discover new things, whether it's cooking or new dishes, things like that. I know cooking isn't rocket science, but I am interested in how it works. So yes, Although it's not a hard science, I think it's an interesting area of science for me. So you can see what I'm doing here is not giving a perfect part 2 answer. I'm just trying to activate and practice some of these expressions that I've been learning. And that's it, really. So that's it. It's great because preparing the collocations, practicing the sentences, and then presenting a talk is a really tried and tested method. Do it in front of the mirror. It's great. You get everything. You get the contact with somebody, but you can see yourself. You can monitor yourself. It's really, really effective. Collocation fun, great. I want to go and do it. It sounds like so much fun. I'm going to do it again right now. I'll be back in a moment. Next up, practice with short audios. Now I am a big fan of extensive listening, right? Listening to podcasts and films, that's great. But when it comes to speaking, I think short audios are much better. They are bite-sized chunks. They're easy to use. And your concentration is shorter for shorter periods of time. You can work with, for example, recorded P-sample answers. There are many websites that have those. Not written, it must be recorded, right? You want to listen and then speak. There's a tool that I've talked about in the past to many of the students here. It's called LingQ, and I like it because it's full of short audios that you can use to help start speaking. And it's free. I mean, there is a paid version, but you can get lots of stuff for free, which is great here. So let me show you first of all how that might work. So this is LingQ. Okay, I'm not going to explain how it works. You can find that out once you sign up for free. But basically, there's a library. You choose your level here. So let's say I'm going to go intermediate, and you can choose down here different audios to listen to. I've got one of my previous lessons here about sport that I will open up. And let me just show you briefly how it works. We'll just focus on the bit on the left, okay? Okay, let's try. Hello, Steph. Hello, Steve. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. So what I want you to focus on first is as you listen to the sentence, pick out the stressed words. Nice to see you. Nice see you. Like to chat a bit about your interest in sports. Sure, you lived in Japan for quite a few years, I think. Japan. Years, I think. Right? About 9 years. 9 years. Okay. So you can see I'm just doing the word stress. And also you can pick out chunks or phrases that you like or that sound interesting. Years, and I think you lived in different cities. That's right. I lived in Sendai for 4 years, which is a little bit north of Tokyo. A little bit north. A little bit north. That's interesting. Which is a little bit north, right? Not in the north, not located in the north, but a little bit north of nice, Tokyo for 4 years, and then 1 year down south in Shikoku. Down south. Interesting. Not in the south, but down south. Okay. And did you play any sports when you were in Japan? A little bit. A little bit. I love that. A little bit. Played a little bit of soccer. I played a little bit of soccer. A little bit of soccer. Isn't that great? So you can see I'm picking out either the stressed words or little phrases or chunks that I like, and this is really helping us listen and prepare for speaking. Next, what you'll do after you've finished, if you want, you can check the tape script as you listen again. That's fine. But at the end, what I would like you to try and do is repeat the audio or the lesson, giving a summary. So repeating it with your words, not reading, not listening. In fact, you can just close that and focus on your own words, right? Oops. And then, after you've done that and a bit of practice, you could try to retell the lesson or the story and record yourself. If you're not sure, you can use your phone. There are mobile apps to record your voice. There's Vocaroo, which is also a very simple online voice recorder. And recording yourself is great because it puts pressure on you, and that, my friend, is good. Also, you can then, once you've listened back, go and compare your recording to the original lesson or story with the tape script and see if it's different. Did you make a mistake? Instead of saying a little bit of football, did you say a little bit football? Or did you use different collocations, right? Instead of individualized sports, did you say personal sports or something different? That noticing, again, puts pressure on you, which is great. And it also helps you notice language. Noticing language is a kind of feedback, which is essential to improve. So that's it. Practice with short audios, right? The next one is really fun, and it's about imitating your favorite English-speaking actor or actress. Okay, so here, when you watch a film in English, take some of the actors that you really like and pretend to be them, right? You're copying their body language, their gestures, their facial expressions, their accent, their voice, their words. You're copying everything. Why does this work? Because it's all about identity. A key part of language learning is your identity as an English speaker. And as students, we often have a mask, or we can create a mask that we hide behind when we speak a foreign language. This can be very, very helpful to reduce anxiety or stress, especially if you're shy or you don't want to, you're embarrassed of mistakes and of not speaking correctly.